Hello, everybody. Welcome to our channel, our podcast of Lily, Tilly, and the universe. And let me introduce myself first. I'm Lily, and I'm spiritual authenticity coach. I assist people to walk the path of authenticity that leads to soulfully fulfilling life. And that's my vision of the new earth that I envision, where people are authentic about how they feel, what they think, and the way they express themselves. So that's me. Also, by the way, I love art. Also, I love poetry, writing poetry. I love dancing, and I love, in general, creative self expression. Now, Tilly is my wonderful friend and my colleague and like friend in crime, so to say, a crime of the universe.
Oh, I like that title.
Mm, yeah. My team, my gang, and we. Yeah, please introduce yourself.
Okay, I'm Tilly, and I am a spiritual mentor and mantra singer. When I sing, I call myself Sula, but both works. And yeah, I love to talk about life, spirituality, and I'm glad I have found a partner to share these thoughts with and reflections. So, yep, looking forward to today, this evening session.
Beautiful. And today we have a very special topic. Today is our third episode, and the topic sounds karma via science and spirituality. All experiences is our own creation. So, what it means when it comes to this topic, that we will be discussing the topic of karma through the perspectives of science and spirituality, and we will explain how actually we are creating our own experiences, which is karma. So, uh, let's start then from defining what karma means for us, how we understand. And first, the way I understand karma, for me, karma is simply experience. It's neither good, neither bad. It's just pleasant feeling or unpleasant feeling of experience. But very often, unpleasant experience having karma might be very good. So I don't judge it good or bad. I discern it whether it's pleasant or unpleasant. So yeah, literally for me, karma is just the experience. What is for you, Tilly?
Yeah, I feel I have not a perfect uh, definition. That's why I also am very interested in hearing more about it from you. But for me, I still use it mostly as the joke that people use if you, I don't know, are mean to someone and then 10 steps later you fall on your face. Then people say, ah, that was karma. And in that sense, of course, not always in that extreme uh, example that I just gave, but also in little things. You have a thought, and the universe shows you immediately that you're not right, like you know nothing. For me, that's also these reflections could be considered karma. But I always had a bit a negative vibe to it, so that you say it's both pleasant or unpleasant is also already interesting to hear. Um,
Actually,
but
for
yeah, I don't know what it is exactly.
but it's your definition is very good, and actually
Yeah.
you pointed out very new thing for me, that the messages of the universe can be perceived as karma. So I'm looking forward to hear that from you, your perspective as
Cool.
well. So, as you see, we are going to dive pretty deep today.
Yeah.
What would
Um,
you like to know more, Tilly?
well, I'm now gonna refer back to a moment that we already had a short talk about this on your terrace, and there you shared something um, really interesting about how it can connect to you as an individual having a past life or past self and a future self, um, and also how it relates to whole planet Earth. Um, yeah, maybe a bit vague, but can you share something about that? So first, how what does it mean for you as an individual, um, to have karma, and what do you have to do with it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, good. For me personally, karma is experience, and how the question then is, if we are create our own experience, as the title suggests of the title of this episode, then I would go to the question, how are we creating our own experience? How are we creating our own karma for ourselves? So, and now I will give two perspectives, through spirituality and science. So, spirituality would explain in past lives that based on what we lived before, if we believe in reincarnation, right? Based on that information, based on that, what we did, what we thought, what we spoke in last time, that was all the energy that we accumulated in past life. And as a result of that, we born into this lifetime, into this body, already with the vibration of the past life karma. So that vibration then stays in the body of a child, and the conditions of this lifetime are perfectly designed for that child that to grow in that way, that the physical life supports the vibration that they already came with. Do you follow? Can you catch what I mean?
Yeah, partly. So I wonder, can it also be considered a desire that basically my past life had the whole life, or right before it died, it said, "Oh, I wish, I don't know, I was a woman or I was a football player." Do you mean then that will be taken with the soul into the new incarnation, or is it more things that needed to be learned? So not so much desires, but um,
I, I know what you mean. Look, first of all, I just want to let people know that everything that I'm sharing and what Till is sharing is our personal perspective, how we perceive life and the universe. We don't claim by any means to know the ultimate truth how life is. I
we know
always ask
nothing.
people, yeah, we know nothing, but we share what we believe.
Yeah,
So take it with a grain and salt, and please stay discerning and check
good
with your
point.
heart, does it resonate or not. So your question is the karma that we create for ourselves.
Yeah, where does
Based,
it exist of? Solely desires, or
I would say that it's both, because how karma is created? Karma is created first. It starts from the thought, from the mind. It's enough only to have the mind, but then, oh, what, I have a huge fly who started bugging me now. Just
okay,
saying. So at times I
that's
can get,
annoying.
yeah, but it gives me some kind of message. I'm trying. Okay, doesn't matter. Okay. It really kicked me out of the flow.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah,
Maybe you're
why?
not supposed to say something, or you are. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe. Wait, okay. Can you bring me up back to the
Yeah,
question?
so you first shared that a vibrational energy of karma will create a new life, if that makes sense, if that's correct. And then I wondered, but um, what creates this karma? Is it desires from the past life, or
How karma is created, first
yeah?
of all, so then we'll be more clear where that energetic vibration comes from. So, in my strong belief, karma, as we told, shared, that it's simply the experience we create, first starts in our mind, what we think. Then, of course, we start feeling what we think. And then, if we even speak it into existence, some experience, some karma might be delayed and manifest in the next lifetime. So those dreams that people don't reach, but as you told, desire, right?
Oh wow.
For example, if my desire is, let's say, to go to cosmos one day. Oh, wait a second, I just got an interruption. That's Lily. Stay cautious, because now you're creating your desire and your future lifetime.
Whoa, that's
Yeah,
super powerful.
because now that's what I'm creating by speaking, by envisioning, by feeling, by giving thought into existence.
Hmm.
So, okay, what the desire I want to have to experience. Um,
But
okay, I want to go to cosmos, to the universe. Let's say like that. So, if I think that thought quite often and I visualize it quite often, but the physical reality of this lifetime is not developed that much for me to go there, or if I have my own blockages, psychological blockages, that, yeah, I want, but I don't believe. If I have those, and if I have those limited beliefs, then it will not happen in this lifetime. But I'm bringing my desire into the next lifetime. So, yes, actually, till I didn't think that way, but now for me, it completely makes
hmm.
sense.
So then maybe in your next lifetime as a soul, you will become an astronaut, for example.
Yeah, because
If you
that's
put it.
karma.
Hmm. Okay, interesting. It's very yeah, no, I feel like sharing something spontaneous, but now I wonder it's a bit personal. But okay, I'm gonna try to keep it vague, but still share it. There's a
Personal
recurring.
from your personal from your side, or
Yes,
okay.
yeah, it's like something that happens to me a lot. I'm just gonna keep it like that as a recurring event. And always when it happens and I get a bit annoyed, my inner voice says, "Yeah, but this you wanted so bad in your other lifetime, Matilda." It's like already got the answer. This is what you desired, and now you have it. And now sometimes it annoys me. So again, I'm keeping it a bit mysterious. But that was already for me the first time that this inner voice said, "Yeah, but this is what you wanted." Was so interesting to hear. And now in this context, it makes a lot of sense. That maybe in my past life I had this desire so bad. Yeah, yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah, yeah, and it's so beautiful that you follow that inner voice of yours who's
Mm.
telling where all of those emotions and desires are coming from.
Yeah.
And so many people actually are desiring many things by default and not even questioning, like, why do I want this? Why am I pulled toward that experience, right?
Hmm.
So it's very good point for just for people to remind that, hey, why do you have the desire? Do you really want that, or yeah, where it comes from?
Hmm.
And this is karma, how explanation goes through spirituality, perspective of spirituality, right? It's connected with the past lives, um, also connecting spirituality with science, right? And by the way, people who are watching on Facebook live stream, because we are streaming in a few different on a few different platforms at the same time, feel free to write questions, shares, whatever, and participate in the discussion about karma and what it means for you, how you understand it. And do you agree or no that we are the ones who are creating our own experience, meaning we are creating our own karma? This is the point of this topic. And when let's combine now explanation of spirituality with science, and let's see into karma through both perspectives, because for me science always complements spirituality, always goes be, behind the spirituality goes first, and then at some point uh, science catches up. So when it comes to when it comes to spirituality and science, what karma is, if through the spiritual perspective it's past lives, then how science explains past life is through epigenetics. Have you heard about it, epigenetics?
The changing of your DNA or genes.
It's
Mm,
like transmitting the information through genes, but that information is the perspective that our ancestors had, a mental perspective, and as a result of that, emotional experience, emotional memory that is transferred in the physical body. So this is epigenetics. And interesting fact is that we can change epigenetics. While before people believe that, oh, I'm a victim of genes, it's genetic, I can't change it. Science already proved no, you're not a victim and you have all power to change it. So how it explains the past life experience, that our ancestors, imagine, let's say, your example, that you have a desire in this lifetime and you have a feeling that this is the desire that you had in your previous lifetime, right? What if I tell you that the consciousness of one of your ancestors now are living through your body right here, right now, having that desire? That, for example, your grandmother who had that desire, but that grandmother actually was you.
that my mind can't comprehend.
Yeah,
But it's very interesting to me.
yeah, I think I wrote in the description of this episode that it's going to be a little bit of mind fuck. So please prepare yourself to, yeah, to digest actually the possibilities of the information. Now, so do you have some questions maybe here?
Yeah. Um, Let me see how I can formulate it clearly. So now we talked about having desires in a past lifetime or your ancestors, and it's all connected, playing out through you as this mind body individual right now. But you told me, and that's I will refer to that, which was very interesting, that you had an download or a feeling why planet Earth has so much people being born right now. Um, and then you shared also that has to do with karma that has to be played out. So then for me, it shows it's not only desires from a past lifetime, but it's also something about learning lessons or making things right. If I got it correctly. So let's say if you were maybe a murderer in one for us from a certain country, then you have to maybe live in another lifetime in that country to accept the people. That's just something that pops up to make everything equal again? Or is this totally not what you meant with karma as to be played out?
Yeah, I hear you. Okay, so let's then go to my first epiphany moment, the huge download that I had, what those past lives is, because quantum physics uh, already states that there is no past, there is no future, everything is happening right here, right now,
Simultaneous.
simultaneously,
Yeah.
like just different timelines, but that
Mm-hmm.
different timeline is simply if my past and my future is happening now, it means I need to find which person is my past life living life now and which person is my future life living life now. So when I went to one service of numerology, she was my client when I was doing social media marketing, and yeah, I bought from her the service of numerology, and it was psychology based on numerology. And she was like uh, calculating everything, and then she gave me a list of uh, characteristics of my past life. And she is naming, okay, in past life you did this and that and that and that and that. That's why you have the experience in this lifetime as you have. And I'm like, wait a second. But you're talking not about me. You're talking about my dad.
Mm-hmm.
Because she literally described my dad. And then after the call, it just hit me that my past life, one of many past lives, that is happening right here, right now, is my dad.
It's really mind blowing to comprehend now. Yeah.
And one of my other past lives is my mother happening right now. And when I had that shift of perspective, I turned back, I looked to the eyes of my dad, of my mom, and every time when they did something that triggered me that I didn't like, it changed how I relate to them on the emotional level.
Mm.
Because if I see myself in my parents, if I see and acknowledge that, hey, you are my past life, you are all of those pluses and minuses, like advantages and disadvantages, like achievements and mistakes. If you, if my dad and my mother are my past lives, different past lives happening right here, right now, then how can I be mad on myself, right?
Yeah, beautiful.
And when I started seeing those mistakes, I understand why I have the experience that I have right now. And let me now give more clarification that based on karma, what we already defined how karma is being created, that it's created through the mind, then the feeling follows, and then the action. So it's like secret, again, based on sacred trinity, right? The body, spirit, and mind, uh, how karma is created. So when a person is blessed, let's say with certain characteristics, like beautiful aesthetics, like wonderful intellect, like financial abundance, if a person has all of that and abuses it, you misuses it for the wrong reasons, for the selfish reasons, by damaging other people along the way, then the future self will pay the consequences, will
Wow.
experience, because karma, and this what explains that karma is the energy that you give out into the universe, right?
Yeah.
So it comes back. Everything
Mm-hmm.
that we give out, it eventually comes back in one form or another. So when a person gives out mean intentions, mean behavior, mean feelings, mean thoughts, eventually it comes back. And it comes back also in the future life, in the future lifetime. Some
And
experiences come in this lifetime, definitely, but some come in the next lifetime. Yes.
but now I'm confused a bit. So it can mean it can be come back to you in this experience for you as Lily, for me Tilly. It can come back to maybe my child, which is a part of me as my future self. Or is there another option? My soul reincarnates in a new experience with physical body. That's also a future self, right?
Yeah, yeah. And that's how we are going closer to to the answer to the one of fundamental questions: why the birth rate of babies, new babies, are rising up? Why population is rising up? So now, look, if imagine people who were living in caves age, how you call it, cave age, yeah? In the age of caves.
Yeah, I don't know how to name the what's the name for that?
Yeah.
Caveman times. Yeah.
Yeah. Caveman times, yeah. So compare the activity of the brain of a man in those lifetimes, in that lifetime, and the man now. The activity of the brain is billion more time more active now rather than it was back then. So it means back then, when people didn't have all the technologies and distractions and that load of information, it means it was the thoughts were produced little bit, not much thoughts. While now, with all of this development, our brain, because we don't um, quiet our mind. Okay, now the culture started realizing the need to do that. But
Mhm.
if people don't quiet their mind on a regular basis, the mind creates the thought that results in the feeling, and then it causes the action. And as more thoughts we have, as more somebody needs to pay the karma
Wow.
for that,
Wow.
right?
Yes.
So imagine how much energy we are pushing out into the universe. And see, now we see the beautiful picture of the universe, right? Look, how many stars, right? Imagine now that every single star is the thought of every single billion of people. And if one person thinks like 1,000 thoughts per, I don't know, per hour, let's say,
Mm-hmm.
how many billions of thoughts are created? Trillions, even
Wow.
more. So all of those are the stars, and those stars need to those thoughts need to materialize into a person who will relive the consequences of that thought.
Wow. Thank you for this explanation. It's really hard to understand with my limited physical mind, but I get it. Yeah,
It's
it's
pretty much,
beautiful how it's all connected.
yeah, and that's why if we want to see less, how to say, if we want to see less poverty, less um, hurt, less pain, less suffer, how do you think what we need to do?
Focus on richness, abundance, love,
What do you mean when you say focus on?
having still thoughts, but positive ones or positive feelings.
Hmm.
Or, I mean, that still creates then karma, but uh, in a abundant way.
Yeah, exactly. And if I would say, like, summarizing all of that, that in order to create for ourselves as the humanity a pleasant karma, we need to invite love into our thoughts. Even if something that we witness as suffer or injustice, oh my god, I
What?
just told suffer, and that fly just flew into the candlelight, and it was the sound of her suffering.
Oh my god, that's indeed crazy reflection and
Yeah.
timing. Wow.
And you see, that's the example of
Wow.
karma. That's what I created by speaking. And the universe
Wow.
reflected me back that, hey, that's what you are talking about. That's what you are creating around yourself.
Very trippy
But that was
and
perfect
powerful.
example. Yeah.
But don't you have sometimes the feeling that it scares me a bit if a negative thought pops up? Because then I'm like, oh no, I cannot think this because then it happens. And then I get sort of so obsessed with it that it becomes like this intrusive thought. But I wonder, is that the same, has it the same effect, or is it only if it's more intentional and not this random intrusive thought that pops up?
Very good question, because I found myself into the same loop also in the past, that, that, okay, that's second fly did the same.
Okay, where are they coming from? Out of nowhere. Mm.
But they both flew into the fire.
Not very smart flies, but
No,
yeah.
not at all. Okay, that actually I wanted them to disappear
Well,
because they
maybe
were
that is the
bugging me.
manifestation. It's not so much the word suffer, but more your wish for them to just.
Yeah, I wished really, because they started bugging me that sound, and they were on me.
No,
And then I started speaking about suffering, and that's what I created: disappear and suffer. Even
wow,
if it was
that's sad.
unconscious.
Yeah, exactly. You should next time visualize they fly out safe through the window. But
Yeah, because my energy was annoyed,
oh, yeah.
irritated. And that's why it created the suffering result for
Wow.
somebody, for a
Wow.
fly. So, answering your question about perpetuating the cycle of the thought of, let's say, negative thought, or unpleasant thought, and then, like, no, 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 I can't think it because that's what I'm creating. And I was doing the same when I was in that, the law of attraction and all of that toxic positivity, that what you think you create. And I found myself being in a very toxic positivity because I was um, running away from contrast, let's say like that. By I was mm, pushing away, not acknowledging, and resisting to look at the negative, let's say, negative or unpleasant part of life. And what I realized, that by ignoring, the energy of ignoring is already a low vibe. So
Hmm. Okay.
how you can change that then? Immediately when you find the thought that doesn't feel good, invite love.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
If the thought would be your child
Mm.
who approaches with that energy that thought holds, whether it's fear based thought or anger based thought,
Mm.
a child comes with that emotion to you. How would you calm your child down? Would you ignore your child, or what? How would you approach?
No, I think seeing it with love, that it's okay that it's there, is the best way to let it go. Yeah. Laugh at it not in a hard way, but just see like, oh, this is a funny thought, but it's not me.
And you know what? I would go even deeper if I were you. Because for me, that I'm letting go. I'm just letting go. I tried that, and it. I see that some people also follow the same set of beliefs that I just let it go. Like as one of my, let's say, ex friends, uh, who was also a fan of this. Like I just let go of the feeling, let
Uh-huh.
go of the emotion, let go of the thought, like just let go. What does it mean? Just let go. If the
That's
thought is
also maybe ignoring.
yeah, if the thought is constantly coming up and knocking on your door, and I just let go, what does it mean just to let go?
Still ignoring for me.
That's a,
Yeah.
that's the point.
Yeah. Yeah, it's always showing you something about yourself. So maybe indeed
Exactly.
looking at it with love, analyzing where it comes from, and then letting it go with love. But yeah.
Exactly. Bravo. Yes. I want this message to go viral.
Nice.
Don't just let go. Acknowledgement is needed. Because as more you ignore a child, as more that child will become louder and louder and will in all the original ways will try to get your attention that look
Mm.
at me and stop ignoring. So when you look, that's how you acknowledge. And acknowledgement uh, the the arms the
Yeah,
feeling.
nice. That's beautiful.
And then with that love, like, okay, I understand why it is here. I acknowledge and I release you with love.
Yes.
You served me for some time for this and this reason that I acknowledge why. I understand why, but I don't need you anymore.
Mm. Wow, beautiful. We'll remember that. Okay. Thank you so far for the great explanation of karma. It's really mind blowing, and in a sense, it gives me more clarity about life, but also not confusion. But it's so big to grasp that it's yeah, hard to make sense of. But I do think it helps me to understand myself better, the patterns that I recognize in myself and maybe in my parents, and well, I don't know what I my soul did in past or simultaneous lives, but um, it helps to have some acceptance, I think, of what is happening. Um, yeah.
And I would like to add also, I forgot to mention how we create our karma, what karma is experience. So how we create the experience for ourselves. Another explanation of science and spirituality is if if we create experience in this lifetime, right? How to explain through spirituality and science. Science already stating the fact that telepathy is real. Spiritual people already knew that a while ago and they were practicing it.
Mm.
Science is catching up that guys, telepathy is a real deal because emotion is the energy in motion. We are able to feel the energy. And by the way, that's what I'm teaching people in my coaching sessions as well. And I'm about to probably it will be from autumn. I'm preparing the group coaching course like Mystic School to help people to develop mystic abilities, psychic abilities, because I realize that I'm a turbo telepath, and everybody is like that. I just the difference is that I'm aware of that. So, how we do that? create the experience for ourselves is the moment. Let's take our dynamic, our relationship, right? No, no, no. I will not project it on us. No, no, no. I will give the example from, yeah, I don't want to create it. I don't want to create the new. I will reflect upon what already happened. I will give the example. So I had a very big fallout with one of my friends, and we both are very intuitive. Very. She just didn't know that I am extremely turbo intuitive. And I was not very conscious that I was picking up her thoughts about me. And because my behavior or a certain behavior or certain thoughts that I shared triggered her emotions, her past memory, she produced thoughts about me and projected her past on me. So it means she put quite a lot of judgment on me, and she never vocalized it. But I always felt in my spirit. And based on that feeling, that irritation, and that anger, I acted out. Because at that time, I didn't know that I was a pure channel of manifestation of the energies of other people. So I was literally everything
Like a
what
puppet, you could say. You felt like that of her thoughts. Yeah.
yes,
Wow.
yes. And if that's how we live, guys, that if we are not aware of what is our personal energy, then we are a puppet of the energies of everybody around us, because we are empathic people and we telepathing with one another through the empathy, through the ability to feel the energy. And the thought is also the energy. So how, when you think the thought, how do you know that that thought is yours?
I don't think you can. Or maybe you can, but it's
You
hard.
can. You
Mm.
can. For example, I went with one friend in the art gallery, and we both saw one piece of art, and at the same moment, we started vocalizing exactly the same. We started sentence that was first five words exactly the same. Or with another friend, like sh- we saw something and I vocalized what she thought. She was like, "But I
Wow.
just thought about that."
Hmm.
And I was like, or I will give a more clear example that happened very recently. I was going with my friend, with a group of friends, and uh, the one friend broke up with her ex-boyfriend, and it was not so good experience, and she was kind of afraid of him. And then it just hit me the thought and a very hysterically paranoid emotion that, and I vocalized it. I told her, "We will see him." I just somehow kind of knew that we will see him. And I told her that. And she freaked out like, "Ah, what are you talking about?" And she's really afraid of him. And then she told, "I just thought about it that because I saw the volleyball playground and he used to play volleyball, I just thought that." And I was like, stopped myself. I was like, "Wait a second, what is happening here?" Because I'm not afraid of him. I know him. Actually,
Hmm.
he makes me giggle inside because I see his um, wrongdoings. I see his inner child and I feel compassion towards him. I never had that feeling towards him. But I channeled
Yeah.
her thoughts and her emotions. And then I realized, wait a second. So if I'm not conscious and aware of myself, of my own energy, then I am a puppet of the energies of anybody around me.
Yes, it's
So,
very trippy to realize that you might play out someone else's thoughts or energy.
and now look, if you have the thoughts, let's say, about your friend,
Mm.
the universe always answer yes.
What?
Whatever you think, whatever you think, the answer of the universe is always yes.
Mm.
So if you think about your friend, oh, I don't like when she's doing this or that, or she looks like, for example, a narcissist or whatever. The answer of the universe is yes. So then, as a result of your thought about your friend, that thought will impact her because she will feel that in her spirit, and she will be a channel of your own thoughts, and that's how you will create that narcissistic experience towards yourself.
Wow. But I mean, in a way, I'm not sure if this will stay in the topic because now we're getting more to free will. But the other person, even though it's a reflection of you, of your mind, and apparently of your thoughts, also still has a free will on its own, right? Because otherwise, everyone would be completely a puppet of your mind. Or maybe that is actually the case. I don't know.
Actually, a very good question, and that's a topic probably for the next
Yeah, it sounds like it's
episode.
too
Free
long.
will, because
Okay.
actually I don't, I'm not a fan of believing that we have a free will. If honestly, I think we all are a puppets of the higher plan
Yeah,
that
yeah, yeah.
we are not controlling, we are not in control, and that's our ego um, trying to defend our limitlessness. How is it? Limitlessness,
Mm.
yeah. Lim- Limitations that,
Mm.
and no, I'm powerful, I'm in control, I'm God. And
Yes.
that's what I hear in spiritual community a lot, that I'm God. Like,
Mm-hmm.
you're extension of God, but you're not God.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I always, well, always, since I discovered law of attraction theories, I was very excited about being the creator of every moment. But more lately, I feel also how it's maybe in a sense, it's just happening and we're not in control as this individual. Um, yeah, I
But
don't.
but you brought a very good question. Are we really now like a puppets without having free will playing out the energy of somebody else? I would say most of the time, yes. It depends on the level of consciousness. But because the consciousness is rising up of
Mm-hmm.
people, and more and more people become aware about the telepathy, that it's a real deal. More people are aware about the energies, what is mine, what is not mine, which thought is mine, which is not, which emotion is mine, and which is not mine. Because more people are waking up spiritually to these truths. Now, those people are creating energetic boundaries. And that's what is happening now collectively, how I see individuation. We are in the timeline of individuation. And by the way, we just entered in the season of the next 1.5 year or 2.5 year. Now I don't remember how long, but North nodes shifted. So now North Node entered Aries sign, and Aries is the first sign in astrology. Number one, I am statement. So this is the time when people are realizing the power of individuation. Yes, we we're growing in the consciousness that all is one, we are all connected. But now we are realizing the benefits and the necessity of separating from the unity consciousness while being in the unity consciousness. Like like having our individual expression of that oneness.
Mm. Yeah, beautiful.
So what I wanted to say with all of that, that more and more people, that still most of people are a puppets of the energies of others, and they are channeling the energies of others because they are not in connection with self and not aware of their own energy. That's why they think they have a free will, but actually they are just playing out somebody's else
Mm.
experience. So, and that's a powerful thing. If people want to be their true authentic self, they need to learn how to discern what is mine and what is not mine.
Great. That sounds like something I could learn a lot from too. Still, to discern your emotions. I
Oh,
actually had a thought popping up because I was thinking about a mantra to sing, and there is one mantra that's called Adgurename, and that's actually for protection. So you can visualize like a white light around you, which could help also to prevent other people's emotions coming to you. um, so yeah, just I don't know. I was just sharing this for at the end. Uh, I don't know if you still wanted to share something. For me, I feel it's very clear and
mm,
enlightening story so far.
I think I shared everything. I just would add that as we are still all one and all connected to one another, uh, I don't see that it's even possible to protect ourselves from emotions and thoughts of others not entering our space. It's more about first recognizing, then discerning, and then saying thank you and goodbye
Mm.
with love. Like I release you with love. And that's it. So yeah, actually a mantra on that would be very good, like just to surround ourselves with a bubble of love that
Uh-huh.
others can still approach us, that we don't isolate, disconnect from others, but that our bubble is pretty elastic, right? That it can come closer to us, but not into us.
That sounds like a powerful intention. Um, I also felt like sharing this shortly. This is a prayer if you ever feel that there are thoughts and feelings which are not yours around you.
Oh,
You can say, Angels, guides, ancestors, star family, please clear my energy field of any feelings, of any thoughts, forms, beliefs, and self doubt that does not belong to me and is not serving me. Please transmute these energies and send them back to source with love. And yeah, I think that's always very beautiful, and it really helps me sometimes to let go of something. Um, then it comes up even harder, I always feel, but then it's time to be transmuted. Okay,
yeah.
let me see the chords.
Okay, and before you set everything up, I will just add one thing that I remember now, but thanks to you, that most of the time, I would say always until a person is not aware, our parents and our ancestors, the consciousness of theirs is speaking through our mind, while our inner child, our soul, speaks through our heart. So all the co- logical, rational concepts and understandings, perceptions of this world is inheritance from our ancestors, and it's our parents also. When we reparent ourselves, when we come back into our own thoughts, that's when we start living from self. And in order to do that, we need to connect to the source directly. And let this mantra be the intention to
Okay.
connect to the source.
Of course. Okay, I couldn't find the chords, but I think I still know them. So, At Gurename Jugat Gurename Sat Gurename Siri Guru Defename At Gurename Jugat Gurename Sat Gurename Siri Guru Defename At Gurename. That's it.
Beautiful. Oh, such a good ending.
Okay.
Thank you so much, Tilly, for your beautiful voice, beautiful vibration. And this is one of ways how to create karma is through the vibration of our voice. And people, choose what you're listening, choose, stay aware what you are singing, because all of this is a manifestation
Mm,
of your karma, what you are creating, what you're
also what
speaking
you're
into
singing.
existence.
Okay.
Yeah.
Powerful. Thanks for the wisdom. And then we
Thank
end.
you. Thank you for the company. Thank you for your curiosity, which I love so much because it gives a vibration, a feeling of childlike wonder.
Mm,
So when somebody joins the journey of wonder together with me, my inner child wakes up and wants to play, wants to dive deep and explore. And yeah,
cool.
thank you so much for that experience.
Okay. Then I'm
And
gonna
thank
end.
you everybody who joined also and who listened, who watched and who participated. We hope that our conversation, our friendly discussion today about karma, how we created the experience for ourselves, I hope it gave you some new perspectives that expanded your consciousness, your possible understanding. If not for now, maybe later it will unfold in your life, and then you will see, aha, that's what Lily meant, or that's what Tilly meant in that conversation. So even if it's hard, might be hard to grasp some concepts that we shared today, I invite you to stay open to possibilities and ask life or the universe or God, whatever you believe in, to prove the theory. I would say never fall to believe what other people say. At least that's my approach in life. I hear the theory and then I'm like a curious child. I run to test it, to try. And then see, does it work for me or no? And if it doesn't work, even then I raise the question why it doesn't work, why it works for others and for me no. And as long as we raise the questions, we always get the answers. So yeah, thank you so much, beautiful people, from both of us, and see you on Monday.
Okay. Bye.